D, wait for it, delightful.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
What's up, nerds? So I just finished the latest episode of Stargirl. And I want to just say, in terms of how this season is going, I know we're only on episode 3, but they got to ramp it up a little bit. Now, don't get me wrong. This episode was good, but it would have been very mediocre if it wasn't for the fight sequence that we'll get to in a little bit, which I didn't get too many stills for because fight sequences are hard to get stills for because it's a lot of but it's like blurry and stuff. You're like, oh, it was cool when you watch it in motion. But like I said, this episode was good. I did enjoy it. A lot of shows lately I watch, and when I'm watching, I'm just like, can this please hurry up? Because I am like not having a good time. But this show, I'm actually like, what's going on here? Because I think, one thing that I really love about it is I love the wholesomeness of it. Like you've got these teenagers that are crime fighters, but yet this is such a, like, they're so wholesome because they're like, I want to do good and everything. And, they want to be true to themselves, but they also, want to, do, like, I don't know what the right word is, but they want to like solve crime. They want to stop the bad guy. But right now there's no really bad guy. So also I think that this needs to, because we got Starman, and Starman, in my opinion, is starting to get a little bit annoying because I'm just like, all right, got it, bud. You don't know where you fit in this world. Well, guess what? You better figure it out because everybody's sick and tired of like, covering for you or fixing your mess, hooker. So I did like this episode. We're gonna get down to it. Also, this is a murder mystery, and we got the murder. But like the only mystery is like who done it. But like I really feel like they're not like setting up clues so that we, the audience, can try to figure out who killed it. And I feel like they're not gonna. One thing I hate about when murder mysteries happen in like a book or a movie is when you read it and then the killer like wasn't there the whole time. And you're all like, how would I have figured this out? Like, there's no way for me to figure this out. Like, when you watched, Ooh, I Know What You Did Last Summer, like that whole movie, you get to the end and you're just like, it's some rando that you're just like, how would I have figured out that this is the guy that was killing everybody? There was no clues to that. So I'm hoping that it's not like that. We had now, it could not be like that, but I have a feeling it's going to be like that. So I'm going to get down to breaking down this episode now. But before I do, I just want to say that if you like what I do here and you enjoy independent content here on YouTube, please consider subscribing to my channel. YouTube is always changing up their algorithm, and small channels like mine, we always get shoved to the back of the line. So please ask that you like, share, and subscribe. And I thank you in advance. So now that we got that out of the way, let's break down this episode. So it starts off with Sylvester, and he's going through town, through Blue Valley, and he's checking stuff out. He gets a coffee and he didn't like it because he said it was awful. And he goes into the diner and he gets a great cup of tea because that waitress lady has been learning from the shade. I'm pretty sure it's not that great tea anyways. But then Yolanda comes up and she's like, how's the breakfast? And he says it sucks. But he tells her, he's like, I like you. You're like Wildcat. You're keeping everybody on your toes and you're holding everybody accountable. And he was hardcore. Like he, was like a tough love kind of guy. And that's what the team needs. And I can't remember what else he says to her. I think he says something about how like he needs to find his place in this world. Probably that's what his whole storyline is. And I'm all like, yeah, you need to find your place in this. Maybe try to find another staff or maybe something else that you can use your powers. Because the staff is now Courtney's, in my opinion. You died. Move along, sister. So then the grandparents, I do not like these grandparents. They're all like, they are kind of annoying. They're like, oh, what do we do now? We take them out. And you're like, okay, move along, grandpa, grandma, with your ice powers. So then we hop over to Courtney has made breakfast. And this is before school, you guys. And I just want to know, who had time to go to a job while it's bright out? Or maybe this is like on a weekend. I don't remember, but it's bright out and everything. And she and they must have slept till noon. No, this isn't. This is the day, but she's about to go to work. What time is it in the day? If it's like before work, so it's before 8 o'clock. I'm sorry, it is like not that bright out. This is like like noon, 1 o'clock, daylight. Because I don't know about you, when you went to high school, how many times did you wake up to make a full breakfast for everybody, and how many times did you go to school and it was pitch dark outside because it was like 6 o'clock in the morning? You're just walking to the bus stop, all like, I am so tired right now. Exactly. Anyways, so she made everybody breakfast, and while she's sitting at breakfast, they're talking about the case of the the gambler, his death, and there was blood everywhere. And these guys show up. They come in their house, rude, and throw out their breakfast, rude, and give them some crappy like tofu and cachava beans porridge or some crap like that. And I'm like, rude and gross. So they're sitting here and they're trying to have a good breakfast. And me, I'm just like, I wouldn't eat that. I'd be like, I would, if it was me, they better be glad it's not me. Cause I would just be like, listen, you guys are rude as shit. Get the hell out of my house. Like, take your gross food that you probably made. It's all natural. You didn't cook it over 120 degrees and everything. So I'd just be like, move along. Anyways. So Beth and what's his face? Oh God, what is Our Man are driving to school, and Beth is talking to her parents through her goggles, which is this has become annoying now. And the parents have become Beth from season 1, and I did not like Beth from season 1. I felt Beth from season 1 was useless. These parents have become Beth, and they are annoying as shit. Stop showing them. I do not like them. Beth has come into her own, and I like Beth now, and now you're not giving her enough screen time. Course, but I do not like her parents. I want them to go away. I like them better in season 1 and before they turned into this. Okay, so then he's like, I think it's pretty cool that your parents think that your parents want to know more about your superhero gig. And she's like, what? She's like, how's your uncle? And he's like, he left town. He's like not here. And I'm all like, you guys. So then she gets an incoming transmission. It's Thors Unknown, and it's Stephen Sharp, the gambler. He was getting money, a payout. He was blackmailing somebody. And so Siv, what is her name? Sorry, I blanked there because I was trying to think, but nothing was happening. Her I'm sorry, I can't think of her name. Ooh, what is her name? Anyway, Siv is trying to get into the Dragon King files, her dad's files from the gambler. And it's like, wrong one, try again. I'm all like, oh, you're so obnoxious. And she, I thought I got it. Oh, I must have not got it. But she has the worst frustrated. She's like, and I'm all like, that's not how people get when they get frustrated. You probably throw that thing. So back at school, she's waiting at her locker. And she's all like, you guys gonna have another meeting without me, huh? And everything. And she's like, we need to go talk to, or we need to get some stuff started or something. I can't remember. We need to find the killer. So she sees Connor, and she's all like, we'll talk about this later. So she goes with Connor. She's like, hey, Connor, what's going on? And he totally he's just like, ignores her, basically. So then back at mommy Stargirl's office, Tigress shows up, and she's all like, the women at the Rotary Club love the German chocolate cake, and now they want me to give a speech about why I love Blue Valley. And you can say, the ranch. Anyways, so she's all like, well, what do they do? And she's like, I don't know. And so she's like, well, or they wanted to give her to give a speech. She's like, why don't you talk about why you love Blue Valley? And you can say you love the ranch. And then her boss comes in. He's like, hey, I'm not going to approve your little thing. And I was like, this is ridiculous. Nobody acts like this. And if they do, there'd be an HR problem. She's like, oh, I have to rework this entire proposal now. And I'm like, oh, of course you do. The patriarchy and everything. And Sylvester is trying to find a job, but I'm all like, Sylvester, I want you to go away. Like, I liked you season 1 when you were all Starman and everything, and season 2 when you were all like crazy Starman. I liked it, but now you're just annoying Starman, and I've had enough of you, like, straight up. So he's like, I don't know what to do. And then Zeke here, he says, he talks about how he liked working at the salvage yard, and his grandfather taught him that. And he talked about how his mother just dropped him off at his grandparents' house, and she's like, he cries too much, and she left, and that was the last time he saw her. And he said, and then he goes on to talk about, and he's like, all my parents did was left me with a complex or some crap like that. I don't remember exactly what he said, but he's like, people think that that what I do is I have a junkyard, but it's not a junkyard, it's a salvage yard. And being in salvage is about taking something that everybody thinks is useless and making something new out of it. And it's supposed to be talking about him. Make something new out of yourself, dude. If you're going to sit here and feel sorry for yourself, then fine, sit here and feel sorry for yourself. But you're just going to be sitting here until you die, feeling sorry for yourself. Okay. Why don't you get your butt up, go do something with you, make something of yourself. America. So they're sitting here talking about how the blackmail and how it was I think Cindy told her that it was the Tigress and Sportsmaster, the Crocs. It was them that he was blackmailing. And so they're all like, we need to do something about this. And they're like, listen, you guys, let's just hold off on it until we're 100% sure, because we don't want Artemis to lose her parents again. You know, I don't want to do that to her again. So they're like, and we're not going to tell Sylvester. That was like the big thing. And Cindy gave her the look, and I was like, oh, Cindy's going to tell Sylvester. And she does. So in this teacher's classroom, she stops Connor. She's like, Connor, I understand some stuff is going on. And she's like, but the paint teacher guy said you weren't painting anymore and you didn't turn in your assignment today. And he was like, yeah, I'm really sorry. He's like, would you mind if I did it tonight and turn it in tomorrow? And she's like, you know what? Why don't we forget about this? And then she's like, I know that I'm the strictest teacher in here, but how are you doing, kind of thing. And he's like, he basically is just like, it's none of your business. He's like, I say, it's none of your business. And then our man comes in. He's all like, don't talk to her like that. And he's like, leave her alone. He's like, you don't have to be a jerk to everybody. And then he goes, if you talk to her like that again, I'm going to make you regret it or some crap like that. And he's like, you understand? He's like, yeah, I got it. And me, I'm all like, I'd be like, I'd love to see you try, bitch. Because I understand, like, don't get me wrong. Listen, I am not a tough guy, but you don't disrespect me. I'll tell you that right now. And if you like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I would win a fight with this kid because he's probably bigger than me and I'm like older than him and stuff. But I'm just saying, like, don't disrespect me because I may look like 5 foot nothing, 100 pounds nothing, but you will not be treating me like that. I'll tell you right now. You better watch your tone, the way you talk to me. You better watch what you say to me because I may lose the fight, but I will stand up for myself. Losing a fight sucks. I've been in a couple. It sucks. It sucks when you're the little guy and you're getting picked on and you have to defend yourself. Oh, it so sucks. I got stories. Not today, though. Not today, Satan. Anyways, so this teacher's all like crap, but she feels good that he stood up for her, which is good because, she seems like a total bitch, but at the same time, you should respect your teachers. They're doing their best. Some of them are crazy, though. I had a couple crazies. All right, we're done talking about this. Anyways, moving on. So he sees his car and he creates an icicle and throws it into his tire. I was like, ooh, that's a good one because tires can get expensive depending on what kind they have and all that stuff. Anyways, so moving on. So Sylvester's talking to Cosmo, his staff, and he's talking about, job perspectives. And Cindy shows up and she's like, hey, I thought there was a JSA meeting here. And he's like, go away, Cindy. And she's like, we were just going to talk about how the Crocs were being blackmailed by the gambler. Don't you want to know about that? And he's like, no, don't care. I don't trust you. You're Dragon King's daughter. You're the devil. Not today, Satan, you little devil's harlot. And so she leaves and he takes Cosmo and he's like, let's go get the Crocs. And Mike overhears. And I was like, of course. So then at this supermarket, the girl's all like, 5 minutes, pick what you want and get to the cashier register. And there was a dude in here that was picking up those little cups of 1 minute mac and cheese. And I'm all like, dude, she said 5 minutes. It looks like you just showed up. What are all you people? Look at these people right here and right here. Make your selections and get to the front. Because if me, I'd be like, yo, I'm done. You're not getting what you wanted. You're done. You're done. So then, they're shopping when they're taking their sweet time with 5 minutes to go. I'm telling you right now, if I was that cashier I would have been like, listen, if you guys aren't in line in 5 minutes, I'm literally shutting it down. I will keep track of who the last person in line is. So Starman shows up and he's like, hey, you killed the gambler. It's go time. And they're like, we don't want any trouble. And he's like, oh, I want trouble. So then they back here, she's like, yo, how's Sylvester doing or whatever. And he's like, oh, he's doing fine. And then she gets a call and she's like, there's been an emergency? something bad happen. There's explosions going on and they are fighting. And it was pretty cool. This fight sequence was pretty cool, even though it took place in a store, a grocery store, and they didn't have their costumes on, which bummed me out. I'm sorry. But I personally, if you're going to have a supervillain battle in a fight sequence, I want to see costumes. So then he basically beats them and they're all sitting in the park and he like smashes them out and he's ready to like fly Cosmo like through them. And Pat shows up in the big robot and he's like, stand down. And so they're all like, listen, Gambler was blackmailing us, and we were paying him, but then the payments, he's just stopped. He stopped taking payments. And then he came back and he gave us all of it, all back at once, a big fat check. I was like, she's like, oh, so he was trying to turn his life around. And then Sylvester comes in and he's like, your ex-partner is a psychopath. He's the crazy one. I was like, he's pretty crazy. He like attacked you guys like without, waiting. He comes in, he goes down to the basement. I can't remember what he says, what they say to him or whatnot, but he goes down and he's like, you are my sidekick, not theirs. You stood in front of me. And he's like, I'm no one's side. You should have been like, listen, my dude, I am no one's sidekick anymore, fuckface. I got my own robot. What do you got? Oh, you got to share a staff. But he's all, and then he tells him about how Courtney thought that the night he died that she thought that he was her father, and that when her real father showed up, all he wanted was her locket, and she gave it to him. And he's like, what did you do? And he's like, I knocked him on his ass. I can't remember what he says here, but he says something about how like he's like, I'm not even a Starman. He's like, I don't even have a costume. He's like, you don't need a costume. He's like, to be a hero. And he's like, yeah, but it helps. So then back at school, they're having another little meet and greet. And they're like, it's not. And Cindy comes up and they're like, you told Sylvester. And she's like, yeah, I told Sylvester because we needed to get stuff done. And they're like, listen, if you do it again, you're out. You're out. Oh, she said, and I did it because I thought if I got the approval of Sylvester Starman, you guys would accept me too. And they're like, well, okay, fine. I get it. You wanted acceptance. Okay. You were looking for any way possible. But if you do it again, out. Bye-bye. So back at the Rotary Club, she goes to give a speech. And of course, she's shy about giving speeches. And me, listen, I am not a shy public speaker. Like, you give me a piece of paper with some words on it, I will read it as best as out loud as I can with a little bit of flourish. But she's like, oh, I'm nervous. And so then mommy Stargirl comes in and she's all like, this is the reason why I love Blue Valley. And then that's the end of that. So then Connor comes up to Stargirl, Courtney. He's like, hey, I've been a jerk to you and I'm sorry. And she's like, you want to talk about it? He's like, not really. And she's like, well, how about this? We don't have to talk about it. We can just go for a walk. And I'm not going to lie. I love their little meet cute. It's super cute. It's adorable. I love love. I don't know about you, but I love stories. I just love them. Like, I don't love romance movies, or rom-coms or anything like that because they're corny. But I love real life love stories. Like, every time I meet a new couple, I just love hearing about how they met and how they got married and the engagement and all that stuff. I love all that crap. I'm like, tell me all of that. Tell me how you fell in love. So then back at the house, he's all like, he's looking over the files. He's like, Cosmo, he's like, we need to figure this out. I need to go back to the gambler's trailer and look at the evidence, check out the crime scene. And he's going to take Cosmo with him, but he's like, nope, this is not my time to have you, Cosmo. This is Stargirl's nighttime is Stargirl's time. Leaving you here. Got to follow the rules. So these two are walking and he's all like, I can't do this right now. I got to go. So she walks home, or she's going to walk home. Sylvester leaves. She's rewriting her proposal. Back here at her office, her boss man, he turns around and Tigress is there, and she's like, you're going to be nice to my friend, and you're going to accept her proposal. But she doesn't say accept her proposal, but she's like, you're going to be nice to my friend, or I'm going to come back here. And here she is. She's frustrated right here. She's like, I can't get into the files. And I'm all like, oh, you could have done a better job than that, sweet pea. And then we go over to this creepy, Matrix looking room where this guy or girl are clenching their fist and watching the Sharp trailer. And Sylvester's there, and then Pat is, and Mike's watching him. He hears something, but he's sewing up Starman's outfit. He's making him a costume. I'm like, good for you. Then back here, Starman is attacked and knocked out, and then that's the end of the episode. And like I said before, not a bad episode. But I just go, we need to pick it up a little bit, because I think what is this, a 10 episode, 13 episode season? I can't remember. I think it's only 10 episodes, and you got to get to the meat of the story and who this is and why they're doing it. It was the gambler their only target, or is it the JSA? Why are they targeting them? Are we going to get a flashback? What's going on here? A small piece of me wonders if it's Sylvester himself doing all of this, because he seems like a crazy person. He's crazy cats. So that is my breakdown and review of this episode. Like I said before, it was good, but it wasn't great. I think what saved it from being like mediocre was that fight sequence. It was very, very cool. Like I said before, though, I just wish they had their costumes on and it didn't take place in a grocery store. But it did, and they didn't. So what are you going to do? It's still cool. All right, you guys, tell me, what did you guys think about this episode? Did you like this episode? Did you not like this episode? Who is your favorite JSA member? I'm not going to lie. It's Courtney. I like her a lot. She's pretty great. I like her Stargirl whipping that staff around and everything. But tell me what you guys think. Go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. I won't mind. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. And I will see you guys on my next Stargirl breakdown and review. You guys have a good day. Bye.